Hello and welcome here for another healing journey. Today we have Jacki Michels. So I'm so excited to have you here. And it's all the way from Alaska. I think it's the very first time that I actually on Zoom with someone from Alaska. So I'm super excited. But I'm also super excited to hear about your healing journey. So I'm so excited you're making time for us here to share that. So thank you, Jacki.
Oh, thank you, Tanya. I've been enjoying the fact that you have shared so many other journeys. I think that's just exciting to me, and thank you for welcoming people.
So beautiful. So I think, should we just dive right in sort of thing? And perhaps you can share with us a little bit where you were at, like before you started the healing journey. What were your kind of symptoms or your coping mechanisms? You know, like one of mine was drinking and stuff, the things that you had to overcome. Perhaps we start there. What to paint a picture?
Okay, that's a great part. I love that you said dive in, because diving was part of my journey. But I was an overachieving, had everything together, nurse, straight A student, raised my kids, and I got in a truck and I went to drive across the United States across Canada with my husband. And boom, and from like just moments, just instantaneously, in a sort of the scariness of the ride, and I overnight, in a moment really became a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Little girl. I was scared of everything. I was crying. I was a big, snotty, swearing, sloppy mess. And as a nurse, I just figured out how much I could drink without instantly take me to the liquor store, like in the middle of Canada, just swearing, sweaty mess. And my dad had been a veteran, and as a nurse, I had training, so I knew I was an MS, and I suspected it was post-traumatic stress. But that didn't make any difference. I couldn't manage it. I was instantly, I think within a few hours, I was suicidal. It took like 7 days to travel through Canada. And I was just like, I had all this, I was like tense and irrational. I was just not the straight A student who could pull it together anymore. My husband couldn't make out what had happened.
And it's so scary, like you said, when and I hear that time and time again, when people like they were so successful, they had these real high pressure jobs and a lot of responsibility, like you know, straight A students and like high achievers, and gosh, like I said, you regress like you're 12-year-old, you know, and you don't know what's going on. It's so scary. It's so I don't even have a word for it. It's
disorientating. Like I literally felt, much later I would watch an old movie, The Wizard of Oz, and I felt just like Dorothy, who had been through this whirlwind. Nothing made sense. I literally felt like a displaced person, like I wasn't in my own self. I didn't understand what was happening. Now I do, that dissociation. But at the time I thought, I'm not even in my body. This is strange. And nothing can prepare you for that. But I was sure that it was post-traumatic stress, and I had that verified quickly, except that I got an extra consonant. I found out it was complex post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
So then I had to learn all about what it was, but I couldn't read. I realized I had to learn how to read again and math again, not act like a toddler all over again in an adult world.
Yes. So all those did it feel to you like you were like different parts, or somehow split, or is it more like a regression? For me, it was like a regressed.
Yeah. Yes, but you know, I love metaphors. And I was being a nurse, I enjoyed a string a few words together, and when I saw that story of the Wizard of Oz, I so related to it because I thought this really speaks to post-traumatic stress. Because I was like the Tin Man. I was very stiff and I had a lot of pain. And my heart hurt. There was some real heartbreak. And I felt like the scarecrow with my brain on fire. Like, what happened to my brain? I can't even like do simple arithmetic. And I felt like the lion, like I would be really cowardly and then I would kind of roar. So, and then I just also felt like a lost little girl. So for me, that encapsulated my experience. And you know, that's not my story, but I felt so disconnected from who I was. I thought, I'm going to make my own story, you know, and I'm going to go on my own yellow brick road adventure. And I can't change the story now. I mean, I couldn't escape it.
So did you reach out for support right away, or was there a delay, or did you work with a therapist, or how did you go about it? Did you?
Well, that's a big question. Oh boy, did I ever, like, yes, yes, and yes. I think that was, I was listening to one of your other videos and you talked about willingness. I listened to that song from, I think it was Little Feat, but it's a song about being willing. And I looked for a counselor and the first one didn't feel right. So, you know, I recognized that I had to shop around. I guess I decided I was the patient I needed to take care of for the first time ever. I'd always taken care of everybody else. So what I did was
you're a nurse, so you it's like switching roles. Oh yes, that'd be hard.
And that was, I'm the most awful patient. I found out. I'm hard to, you know, because, you know, like my counselor would say, you know, do things like, you know, make yourself feel safe, and it felt awkward. Yeah. And I would try, but loving myself was, yeah. So yes, I found a counselor and prayerful meditation, and I am in my hammock. Yeah. I have this in my little left log cabin bedroom, and if I feel stressed, this is a place, you know, I've created places where I can go that feel good, because I really believe in challenging myself. Yeah. So I do have tea with my dragons, and I do, my post-traumatic stress is really exacerbated by driving in snowy conditions. Well, I gotta live here and we have a plow truck, and I don't know, I just, I do go confront things that make me scared, but then I have places that make me feel safe. Yeah. And relationships. And oh man, I did everything. I watched every good YouTube video out there, including yours. Thank you. And I just, like I said, I love that story is a big deal, and sharing our stories. So I was just so excited to do that. But yeah, EMDR, I did that. That was profound. I danced a lot, my own living room, and music, and I drew. You know, I was a little kid again, so I kind of went with it. And I found cards to draw positive affirmations on. So I don't know. And some things didn't fit, and some things did. But a nursing process is,
yeah. I think that's the openness to try. Okay, I'll try out dancing, or it feels like drawing is kind of childlike, but I give myself permission to do that because this feels right in the moment to do it. That is beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's what healing's all about, isn't it? Be connected enough with our body to know this feels right for me to play with Play-Doh. Mine was Play-Doh. You know, and allow that to be. So that's beautiful that you dance and take. So often people think like, if I don't have an EMDR therapist, there's nothing that I can do. But you were dancing at home, and you know, things like that are options. That like things that we can do at home with the things that we already have that doesn't cost any extra.
Yes, I took a lot of walks, and like, that's bilateral movement.
Yes.
Then I added some music with that walk, or positive thoughts.
Yeah.
That I would focus on that, and I call it free EMDR. Just go take a hike, be out in nature, or walk in the city, or yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes it looked like a mess, like sometimes I would be like, oh, I'm not making progress, but I just kind of feel like you just kind of get up and you take another step. And
yeah.
And one day one day my therapist said, you don't really qualify anymore for your diagnosis. And I thought, then it was kind of scary, because I thought, well, who am I then? And I realized I'm not my diagnosis. It had been, I'm not my diagnosis. I'm the story that I choose.
Yeah.
That was actually a really big thing.
Yes. It's and it's a hard thing as well, because we have, when you work with a therapist for a while, because it's such an intimate, or vulnerable share and disclosure. It's a different attachment that you have, and it's actually sad to lose that. Like, is that once your therapist says you don't actually qualify for the diagnosis, it's like, yay, and then it's like, oh, I'm sad.
I know, I'm gonna miss my friend. She was such a friend to me.
Yeah.
So I kind of, because that was so hard, I decided I would schedule like every 6 to 8 months with her. Yeah. And then kind of, if needed, for a tune-up. I think of it as not, something big comes and I need to discuss it. And I'm in Alaska, so it's a small community. Sometimes, I love her professionalism, but, just knowing that I'll see her smile when I go grocery shopping or something. It doesn't feel too far away. So, but a good, sometimes that a good relationship does allow you to be strong enough to make decisions.
Yeah.
It was hard.
That is so beautiful that you still have that kind of connection. So it's not like completely closed off, but you have that option to still book another session. That can sometimes really help, especially in the beginning, till it's like, oh, I'm actually good.
Yeah, I know training wheels. No training wheels. Yes. But then, I think she was so good to help me kind of, one of the first things she said was, you're going to have to rebuild your community. So by the time that I was ready, I had that community, close people that I could trust, and had kind of done a lot of rebuilding. So that was pretty helpful.
Mm. And one thing that I really like that you shared in writing, but it's that you called it the me researcher, and I thought, oh, this is good. I love that. Because it's like you feel like you have to research yourself again. Or maybe you explain what you meant by that me researcher, because I just
me searcher, instead of
a me searcher. So
that's I just thought it was like discovering myself, or when I would read about certain types of abuse, or how I got where I was, it all made sense. And it really helped my recovery process to learn everything that it was like learning a new language almost. And then I could put pieces together, and that really helped me to move forward, to see, oh, other people have gone through this type, and it's normal that my brain isn't working well. And I don't know, it was a relief.
Yeah, that's what one of my first therapists said, and that was my mantra. Or I had that on a note for so long. It's like, this is a normal response to an abnormal event.
Instead of you being wrong, right?
Yeah,
because I thought, well, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, it does. Like when it feels like you can't trust your own brain, it's So you got to go on a search for a me search. Yeah, That's beautiful.
Well, I really just thank you, and I'm going to look forward to other stories that you're going to.
Yeah. Was there anything in the closing that you still feel like you would like to share? Did we miss something? How was that? Yeah.
Thank you for asking that. Yeah, maybe just for me personally, it was really helpful to write my story because I felt, to like actually write. And I had to throw away like a lot of maybe angry chapters. And I learned to write thank you notes. I think I made a compilation of thank you notes and progress notes. But looking, it kind of gave me a baseline to look back at it. Oh, look at that and look at it. And I've come to find gratitude and lessons out of it. But that was helpful. And maybe if that's helpful for other people is to journal your experiences. And even though you think, oh, I hope nobody finds this notebook. Good. I hope you find it later and you can look back and say, oh, that's what I was thinking. And that's okay because I'm not thinking that way anymore. And I'm choosing my story. So I guess that's like one main takeaway is to choose to be the hero in your story and choose that you're not stuck with that story.
Yeah, I'm so glad you shared that. Because I used to journal a lot too, and I'm glad you shared that you still have it and that you can go back and see the change. Because what I did, I got to there were phases where I was paranoid that if someone will find that. So I tore them all into pieces, but intentionally. When I ripped them up, it was like me letting go of this this past self and had a whole process around that. But now I'm often thinking, so part of me wishes I still had that, so I could actually see the progress that I made. Yeah, it's interesting. So
I'll echo that. I did eventually burn some of it, and I found a more sunny perspective on things. But having had that, and then actually having the power to burn it too.
Yes.
Great. Well, thank you, Tanja. I'm going to be looking forward to other things that you have on your channel.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you so much for being so open and vulnerable and sharing what helped you and how you took you took in everything, not just EMDR therapy, to be more playful and do the things like you said. It was my 12-year-old, but allowing yourself to do that, and I think that's so beautiful and empowering.
It did. Well, thank you. Aloha from Alaska.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye.